I use the market profile to find long setups and translate into plain English. My edge is simple: patience and daily understanding of the market profile. Let's get started. So the first stock I have here is NVDA. The profile shows that on low volume, few people showed up to trade. Buyers and sellers auctioned the price such that price action had an upward tilt, but ultimately the most fair price or value agreed upon ended up overlapping to the downside compared to yesterday. This is yesterday's value, today's value, so it kind of overlapped to the downside a little bit. The volume, it was a little low relative to the average, so few people showed up to trade. Profile has no tails, which means no buyer or seller exhaustion. Profile had no range extension, which means that neither buyers nor sellers tried to aggressively auction the price in any one direction. The most important takeaway is that the most fair price ended up overlapping lower, however, happening on low volume, which means this move is weak. Market could be waiting for more information. Because I only long, I'm sitting on my hands because I don't see seller exhaustion and I don't see buyers. I would love to see that around 171 to 178. So this area of support, which kind of has happened multiple times throughout the past year, but most importantly, the most recent one was earlier this month. The next stock here, I have Apple. The Apple profile shows that on low volume, few people showed up to trade. Both buyers and sellers auctioned the price such that it remained neutral with maybe a slight downward price action tilt. However, the most fair price or value overlapped to the downside in comparison to yesterday's value. Yesterday's value is, just around here, and this is today's value. So overlap to the downside. Most important here is volume, as you guys can see at the bottom of the chart, very, very low volume. So this move is, lacks straight up conviction. The most important thing to take from this profile is that this is happening on low volume, which means absence of both buyers and sellers. It's possible that the market is waiting for more information. Because I only long, I'm going to sit on my hands. I don't see seller exhaustion, nor do I see buyers. If there's a level that I would like, it's going to be around the 244 to 252 level, which bottomed around January 22nd. So I'm hoping to see both buyers step in and sellers be exhausted if the price goes to this level. Next stop is Microsoft. So this is the Microsoft profile here. The profile showed that on low volume, few people showed up to trade. Buyers and sellers today auctioned the price such that price action had a downward move, and the most fair price or value agreed upon was the same as yesterday. If you look at this is yesterday's value, this is today's value, so about the same. And volume, once again, very low. This profile, there were no tails, which means there was no buyer or seller exhaustion. There was range extension to the downside, which means that sellers took control and aggressively auctioned the price downward. The most important takeaway is that value stayed the same as yesterday, despite seller activity, and it happened on low volume, which means that there's a lack of conviction here. Price action could be balancing or it could be waiting for more information. Because I only long, I don't see seller exhaustion, nor do I see buyers, so I'm going to sit on my hands until I see both. I would love it if price was to retest the 345 to 357 level, which happened almost like a year ago. And have a great day tomorrow, guys.